Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 18, which is entitled as Sannyāsa Yoga. Sloka 2, Part 2. śrī-bhagavān uvāca kāmyānāṁ karmaṇāṁ nyāsaṁ sannyāsaṁ kavayo viduḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ prāhus vicakṣaṇāḥ. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "The giving up of activities that are based on material desire is what great learned men call the renounced order of life, sannyāsa, and giving up the results of all activities is what the wise call renunciation, tyāga." In the last session, we learnt these two terms are complementary to each other, which are used interchangeably. But the nature of giving up differs based on the philosopher. We also learned there are three types of karmas: nitya karma, naimittika karma, and kamya karma. The philosopher varies in their opinion based on what to be given up in these three. Is it all the karmas that needs to be given up, or is it certain selected karmas that needs to be given up, or it is the phalam, the result, the reward that comes out of doing the karma should be given up? Like this, they vary. The first type of person says that the kamya karma is considered to be an enemy for those who are aspirant of moksha, liberation. Therefore, the kamya karma, those karmas which entangles one further into the material whirlpool, should be given up, because it gives samanya phalam, shudra phalam, ordinary result, and result which are not lasting for long. But that person should continue doing nitya karma and naimittika karma. The only karma that needs to be given up out of these three is kamya karma. Why? Because it is mostly desire prompted activities. Anything that gives you reward in regards to material prosperity, that needs to be given up, because those who are interested in spiritual gain, moksha, they should not be focused on the material things to establish better life in this world or in heavenly planet. Whereas the other group of people, type 2, say that one should not completely remove the kamya karma from the equation. Rather, removing kamya karma by not doing, one must remove the obstacle within the kamya karma. The obstacle for one to attain moksha is what need to be removed, not the kamya karma itself. And this is what explained by the second philosopher in the second part of the second sloka that we are studying now. Let's also quickly understand what the third philosopher and fourth philosopher going to say in the third sloka. The first half of the third sloka is those philosophers who says give up all the karmas totally. These are Sankhyas. Why? Because it says Pashuvada, sacrifice of animals. Therefore, the nature of karma itself full of faults. One should give up all the karmas. Some of us may think this is the best option, which says not to do any karmas, no activities. But we will wait to know more about it. The fourth philosopher, the fourth type of person that mentioned in the third sloka second half, says we need to do all the karmas. Why? Because it is faultless. This fourth type of philosopher opposing the third type. The third type said one should give up all the karmas because it has faults, where the fourth philosopher says that one needs to do all the karmas because it doesn't have any faults in it. This philosopher is in line with Krishna's philosophy. It is obvious that Krishna's philosophy must be one which says that to do all the karmas, not to give up anything. If Krishna has to say give up something, then how is he going to encourage Arjuna to fight? Arjuna is already inclined to give up his duty. Therefore, Krishna would never recommend to give up things. Rather, he will enforce that we do our duties every day. We will learn about that when we go to that particular sloka. So these are the 4 types that's mentioned in sloka 2 and sloka 3. The first type, which says give up kamya karma because it is desire driven. The second type says not to give up kamya karma but give up that which becomes an obstacle to one attaining moksha. In that way, one can do all the 3 karmas, nitya, naimitika and kamya karma. Whereas the third philosopher, Sankhya, says give up all the karmas because they are faulty. And the fourth philosopher says we need to do all the karmas because they are faultless. Now let's see the type 1, kāmyānāṁ karmaṇāṁ nyāsaṁ, completely abstraining from the kamya karma, the desire prompted actions. This type of person only put restriction on kamya karma. Even he does not say not to do nitya karma or naimitika karma. The type 1 person agrees that one needs to perform nitya karma and naimitika karma, but not to do kamya karma. We hope that we still remember what is nitya karma and naimitika karma. Nitya karma is daily duties, which is obligatory, whereas naimitika karma is also obligatory, but it is done on an occasional basis due to a trigger of certain event, certain occasion. So, kāmyānāṁ karmaṇāṁ nyāsaṁ means renouncing kamya karma but continuing to perform nitya karma and naimitika karma. This is what called as sannyāsaṁ. Why one should give up kamya karma? Because it is an obstacle for one who desires to attain moksha, liberation. These kamya karmas gives rewards either in this material world that we are in or in the higher planetary system, Prajapati Loka, Indra Loka, Chandra Loka, Pitra Loka, etc. But these kamya karma certainly, absolutely will not give moksha loka, see Vaikunta. But why does this philosopher say one should continue doing nitya karma, naimitika karma? That is because both nitya karma and naimitika karma are angam, means limbs, for upasana, vidya, bhakti. Upasana means same as bhakti. Bhakti means vidya. These are all interchangeable terms which means the same. So nitya karma, naimitika karma are limbs, part of bhakti. One should regularly perform the duties that's prescribed in the nitya karma and under the naimitika karma, yaga, yajna, dhana, tapasa, because these are the vehicle to achieve our final destination. Bhakti is what we want to achieve, but for one to achieve that bhakti, these nitya karma and naimitika karma becomes an vehicle. Then one may ask a question, if nitya karma and naimitika karma are the anga of bhakti, what about kamya karma? Are they also anga for the bhakti? Answer is yes, one can consider kamya karma as well as part of anga of bhakti. But if one misses kamya karma, bhakti will not be restricted. It is not jeopardized. But if one fails to do nitya karma, naimitika karma, there's a big problem in spiritual progress. Another thing that we need to see is if one does not do kamya karma, one is not disqualified to perform bhakti. But if one failed to do nitya karma and naitmitika karma, one gets disqualified. Disqualified to do any spiritual, religious activities. To conclude, the type 1 people have opinion that sannyāsa, which also known as tyāga, means to renounce all actions which are motivated by desire for their rewards. In other words, kamya karma out of 3 karmas needs to be renounced. That renunciation is what known as sannyāsa, which is also known as tyāga. In our next session, we'll learn the second of the second sloka, which explains about type 2 person whose opinion about sannyāsa tyāga is to do all the 3 karmas, nitya karma, naimitika karma and kamya karma, but renounce the fruits of the action, which is what known as tyāga, which is also known as sannyāsa. Namaste, Hare Krishna.